Break it down, Cos.
How dare you?
Holy flying Not much to talk about here. Would you not give your left nut to be a quarterback on that team?
The Wheelhouse. Sunday NFL wrap-up with Bauer.
That team is right now destined for the shit pile.
And the sweet, nasty Chris Cause.
It's a victory for my ego, baby.
Welcome, everybody, to your Sunday night edition of the Wheelhouse here at wheelhouseradio.com. Thank you for tuning in. I am Bauer.
I am the sweet, nasty Chris Cause.
And we, with about a minute 15 left to go in the Packers-Giants game, Eli Manning in the red zone, trying to throw a touchdown pass, goes out of bounds. But nonetheless, Jeff Peck, not here, the champ, probably, if I had to guess, at the firehouse watching this game. Why? Because with all of the sheer volume of close calls to heart attacks that he's had in this game, the only place
he needs to be near a defibrillator.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only place better would be the emergency room of a hospital here in the tri-state area. However, I believe he's at the next best place, which would be the firehouse. So he did tell me, he texted me earlier and said, if this game keeps being this close, I might be a little late. Go ahead and start without me. So, and that was, I don't know, start of the fourth quarter or so.
This has been a long game.
It has.
It's a long game. Normally when, I come in here and sit down in the chair, every game is over.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the case here in this one. There's still plenty left.
Yeah.
It's 107, but it feels like a long 107.
Yeah, that 107 will probably last us through this entire show. That's the vibe that I'm getting.
Although it does appear that the Giants are using the Eagles playbook inside the 5-yard line.
Well, we'll know for sure if there is a turnover here. Then we'll know for sure that they've been following Vince Young very closely. I suppose that's where we should start. Well, that looks like a touchdown for the Giants.
I'm following behind. I'm behind here.
Yeah, that's Akeem Nicks in the end zone for a touchdown.
That'll help.
With 58 seconds on the clock.
I think that helps one of my fantasy teams.
Does it? I'll tell you it doesn't help.
Sort of.
And we'll be. Would you like to wager at this point right now that whether there will or will not be a Jeff Peck sighting this evening on the show?
I will take the under.
I think, yeah. I have a feeling it's not gonna. I have a feeling it's not gonna happen.
That's all.
We'll call him for an update later, though. We'll definitely call him for. Hello, I don't know what happened there. We just lost Cause. We'll definitely call him a little bit later on to see what his thoughts are on just such a game, because I'm sure that now that the touchdown is official and they're going for the 2-point conversion on top of it all, it is now a
35,
35.
33.
35. Is it 35?
2-point conversion attempt is good.
It is good. And somewhere right now, Jeff Peck, is it 35-35? 35-35.
35-35.
Holy shit.
If you had DJ Ware getting the call on the 2-point conversion to save your season.
Good for you.
Congratulations,
How about this? Can I say this? If you had DJ Ware, we'll just stop it there. If you
stop it there.
If you had DJ Ware, wow. Good for you.
Wow.
Well, this game could technically go longer now, Cause. The longest game of the day could technically go longer.
It's heading that way. Don't get me wrong. You've now given Aaron Rodgers 58 seconds on the clock and a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I'm sure, what Jeff Beck is telling himself right now.
And don't forget, it's Eli Manning.
Well, Eli Manning's done. He did his job. That's what he does.
Well, that's what I mean, but there's still...
Oh, you mean you're going into overtime? You think,
yeah, it's still Eli Manning. So, but I'll be honest, from the bits and pieces that I've seen of this game, the Giants aren't looking all that bad. They aren't looking like the Giants of, the last 3-4 weeks? 3 weeks? Whatever it was. Luckily, I don't follow their schedule that close. I
don't know. I will tell you that I'm on the verge of possibly missing the playoffs in my third league because I'm going to lose to a guy who is 1-11 coming up.
Oh my God! That's the worst way to go out too, and because I've been there plenty of times.
Oh my God.
That's the worst way to go out. It really is.
It'll basically come down to Jimmy Graham needing a huge night versus Antonio Gates not doing much on Monday night.
Oh,
that's what I'll need.
Well, let's start off with that Thursday night amazing football game in Seattle, the Skittle Bowl, as it is now dubbed. I just made that up.
Right. Oh well, that's what Marshawn Lynch likes.
That's what he likes. That's the story from that game. Marshawn Lynch showed up to the game, played very well, and then ate Skittles afterwards, and that was the storyline of that game. Not
afterwards, during.
That's true. That is true. After his plays, after his touchdowns, because that was the reward system that he had from his mom when he was growing up, and
whatever it takes, right? Seattle will take it.
Can you see why? If this show was a regular occurrence on a I would say syndicated level, if we were on Everyday Cause, I could see our parodies of Skittles commercials for everything that Marshawn Lynch does well. He has to have Skittles now.
He gets Skittles
from this point forward. Or
I think my favorite part of the Skittle Bowl Marshawn Lynch relationship.
Yes.
He came out somewhere in the second quarter.
Yes.
And they've got him on the table, and they're working his legs. They've got him on the ground, and they're really trying to stretch out his hamstring, and then like his hip, and they're really trying to move him around. And Brad Nessler, does anybody else find him kind of a little old?
What?
A little plain, a little old. He lets us know that the word from the sidelines is Marshawn Lynch has an upset stomach. So they can go ahead and launch into all of their Skittles jokes. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's how you treat an upset stomach, by working out the hamstring. Really trying to do the leg circles.
That's the way. Make sure you tape that.
What we're looking at.
Stomach up. Tape it. Stomach up. That's.
You know what? He's not out with an upset stomach. I understand that the Seahawks may not want to actually tell you what's wrong with him, but it's not an upset stomach.
He did taste the rainbow.
And it stretched his hamstring too far?
I think when you're reaching for the rainbow to taste it, perhaps you should be, I would imagine, warmed up before you do something like that. Yeah, that was
as much as I would like to bask in my selection of the Eagles not making the playoffs.
Yes.
In the preseason.
Yes.
As much as I would like to bask in that.
The dream team.
Have you seen a team with this much talent make the playoffs last year, come back with, in theory, a better team
on paper,
and completely implode?
They have shit the bed like nobody's business. And
I mean, Deshaun Jackson not running routes and sitting in isolation, and then the cover-up would be like, no, what? There's no problem. Again, as if I'm not watching anything on television. This is like a visual medium, right? You know that we see video.
Right.
It's almost like they've hired some of the Republican strategists that seem to remember we have videotape.
It all goes back to, for those of you who are familiar with, it all goes back to a Monty Python movie where the two knights are fighting. One lops off one guy's arm because I just cut off your arm. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. You can see the arm missing, blood squirting out. It's just a flesh wound. It's that theory. Like, it is absolutely, Deshaun Jackson, for the most part, his team hates him. At least on the offensive side of the ball, they hate him. So he's stuck sitting and talking with and hanging out with the defensive teams. And that is glaringly apparent in this game as he sits down. Oh, if he's not by himself, then the only people talking to him are defensemen. Nobody on the offense is talking with him.
Now, if you are an NFL GM,
which, by the way, if I may, real quick, Green Bay just scored a field goal, and they've won the game.
And they've won the game.
Yeah.
So Jeff Pex can release his butthole.
Perhaps.
We'll see.
I'm not altogether positive of that, but perhaps.
His butthole may actually be shifting gears.
Welded. It might be welded shut right now.
Say you're an NFL GM, not working for the Redskins.
All right.
Would you sign Deshaun Jackson?
It's really,
because there's no way the Eagles can, right?
You can't. No, there's no way. No, you
can't bring him back next year, regardless. No. I mean, he did the holdout for more money, and so he'll be the free agent at the end of the year. Like, there's no way if you're the Eagles you can bring him back next year, right?
No, you can't. And here's the thing that I think is the most interesting about it, because I think you've got, frankly, a very young and a very talented receiver in Deshaun Jackson, and I think that was apparent over the last couple of seasons. So that's great. But when I think in a league and in a sport, and for that matter, in a country where the "what have you done for me lately" is the last thing we all remember, this does not look good for him.